A very good evening to you and welcome to RTV News with me, Fiona Mbabazi. Let's go straight to our stories. Agricultural experts believe that more efforts are needed to improve the management of more wetlands, to intensify the irrigation program and to develop the agricultural farming in greenhouses in order to achieve a target of multiplying by 2 productions per hectare by 2024. Innocent Mugawa kicks off tonight's edition with that story.
Mukaba Garurago Deliver and Jendahimana Jan. We found them in the rice plantation in Kabuye wetland located in Gasabo district. Both find it difficult to get good yields due to the fact that the wetland is drying up. As you can see, the rice is in bad shape due to the water source shortage. We only get good yields during the rainy season when the waters extend this side. If we happen to find seeds that can resist dry spells, we would opt for that because there are times we fail to get rain for a long time. Mukaba Garura and Jendahimana are not the only farmers worried about getting low yields. Wamahoro Agnes and her colleague Uwimana Francois have also planted maize in the Nyagisenyi refugees wetlands, but the long dry season has caused their farmland to dry up. They are calling for assistance with irrigation and pesticides. Pesticides are very expensive since they are not on the subsidy, whereby the ones we use are at 2,000 Rwandan francs. They should be subsidized to make them affordable for us to increase our yields. We will get no yields. At least you should give us about 5 machines in this swamp and we try watering it by hand and see if there is anything we can harvest. Otherwise, the weather is too bad. It is confusing to plant maize for a week without germinating, yet they usually grow from 4 to 5 days. One of the key demands of farmers is to increase the amount of organic fertilizers, as it has been found to significantly increase the rate of agricultural production, but they say it is very expensive. We have 163 hectares to grow a variety of vegetables, including French beans and maize. When we count the fertilizer trucks we need, it is at a cost of more than 20 million Rwandan francs per season in manure. 20 million is a lot of money, of which we would invest in farming. We managed to get fertilizers at the same time taking care of our animals. According to farmers, some of the seeds exported to Rwanda are not productive. They say they are happy that the multiplication of seeds is being done domestically. Ishima Emmanuel, the project executive secretary, finds it necessary to put a lot of effort into multiplying high-yielding seeds. What researchers need to put in more efforts is to ensure that these seeds that are multiplied in the country are given a high-yielding capacity. The maize we are currently getting is up to 6.8, yet we usually yield between 10 to 12 tons, so that means we still have a long way to go. But through the increase of farmers, day-to-day interaction of agronomists with farmers, use of fertilizers among others, we shall make it. Agricultural expert and lecturer at the University of Rwanda in the Department of Agriculture, Dr. Ukozehasi Celestine, says that increasing agricultural production in Rwanda and achieving the country's target by 2024 requires wetland management, mountain irrigation and greenhouse farming. Having small spaces for the activity can be fixed in a way that we should use our land wisely. Instead of planting 2 seasons, we make it a whole year. In wetlands, you can cultivate at all times if at all it is well prepared. And in the mountains, you can cultivate using irrigation, let it be on rainy or sunny days, which makes it possible to continue harvesting for the whole year. There is also another thing called greenhouse, which makes it possible for one to cultivate for the whole year without any pause, maintaining the flow of yields, but here you require irrigation as well.
Akaba yakora ibintu bimeze nk'ama etage akagenda hingiraho aho guhinga ku butaka buryo icyo gihe bwa buso tudafite ku butaka tukaba twabubona mu kirere.
Rwanda's 7-year government program for 2017 to 2024 predicts that maize, potatoes, beans and fruit production will double, and rice, wheat, cassava, sweet potatoes, soya beans and vegetables will increase by 30% by 2024. Under the 7-year plan, Rwanda aims to increase the level of fertilizers used per hectare from 32% by farmers to 75% per hectare by 2024, and by land-based farmers using selective seeds from 50% in 2017 to 75% no later than 2024. The economic plan predicts that irrigation will increase from 48,508 hectares in 2017 to 102,284 hectares in 2024. Mechanical farming will range from 25% to 50%. The land consolidation plan will go from 635,603 hectares in 2017 to 980,000 hectares by 2024.
Now, about 15 years ago, a dynamic progressive group of East African diaspora, along with the American counterparts and with the encouragement of key stakeholders, envisaged an organization that will promote trade and partnerships within the region. And that's why I'm joined by Immaculate Businje, who is the executive board member of the East African Chamber of Commerce in the US, to tell us more about this organization and how the East African community has so far benefited. Have a good day to you, Immaculate.
Hello, good evening in Rwanda, and good afternoon from Dallas. Thank you for having me.
Yes, we hope that you're well.
Yes, I'm doing great. We just had concluded the third day of a great conference, so I'm feeling good already.
Absolutely. So take us briefly through this organization and what you really do on the ground.
Yes, so East African Chamber of Commerce was started by a group of East Africans and working with US investors. So the main purpose of this organization is actually to facilitate business relationships between East African countries and US investors. We came to realize that actually we do have so many investors in the US who are willing to go back to East Africa or Africa at large, but they don't have a way of going sometimes. So for us, we act as a bridge. So we bring all the investors together. We bring the East African heads of states, the ambassadors, the investors, the business owners together in the same room, just to make relationships and see where these investors who are here, who are willing to invest back home, where they can take part. So mainly that's what we've been doing. So for us, we are here to work with any organization, with any business, with any government, to connect them to US investors.
Absolutely.
And it's been really working well for the last 15 years.
So for 15 years, of course, what would you say have been the fruitful, or rather the tangible results that you have recorded in these 15 years that you've been doing this?
Yes, so I can say there are so many companies, US investors and companies that have been able to go to East Africa. If I can tell you, there are so many actually. We do have, like, if I can tell you a few of them, we do have like Water for the World that is in almost all the East African countries. We do have like World Food Bank. It's like almost in all East African countries. We do have Safari, Dallas Safari Club Tourism. It's already in Tanzania. We do have HKS Inc. Healthcare is already in Uganda. We do have so many companies that have already stepped in East Africa, really reaping much and bringing businesses in our countries. So it's not about how many, it's about who is actually coming up to take part in these people who are willing to come and invest. So we are here to bridge the gap, as I said, and we are here to connect people to these businessmen and women. And we also work with women. Like today, as I speak, we just concluded a fantastic discussion for women connecting women. Like we learn, I think I can say myself coming from Rwanda, we're learning from the best for sure. We had the best discussion teaching women not to be left behind. There's much we can do in this country. There's much we can help actually even do back home. Even yesterday we had like youth empowerment. We connected the university students. We had the professors showing the young people, like we have so many young African youngsters in the US. So how can we actually take part in the development of this country? We have so much to reap from, and we have so much to learn from. And what can we do actually to take that knowledge back home and be able to invest and do much more than actually just sitting back here and possibly don't be able to do much.
Absolutely. So how does one become a member, or how does one become part of you? Where do the investors find you?
Actually, yes, so we are a registered organization. You can join us at eschamber.org. So we have more than 700 members. And this year, actually, we were a little worried about the COVID effects. We thought we won't have as many attendees. But to our surprise, we had more than 675 virtual attendees. So we are open. So I'm here for the good thing. We have like board members from all East African countries represented. Like myself, I represent Rwanda. I have Frank Kanovana, also from Rwanda. We have all board members from all East African regions. So what we do is to work with our countries to make sure that we actually bring all these investors to our countries. I think mostly what I can say, though, we haven't seen many Rwandese, maybe representatives coming. We've been so lucky to have our ambassador, Matilda Mukantabana, and all the other ambassadors who are there before. They always attend every year, and our economic attaché as well, they do attend. But we would really love to call upon like PSF, RDB, to take part in this annual conference. We do see many businesses going mostly to Kenya, to Uganda, but we don't see much going to Rwanda. And we really call upon people who are responsible to take part. I will take it upon me always every year to make sure that I remind everyone, invite everyone. But these are like so many investors who are willing to come and ready to come to Rwanda and East Africa at large, but they don't have people to negotiate with sometimes.
Absolutely. Now, despite, of course, the COVID pandemic that, of course, has grappled the whole globe, what are some of the other challenges, that you face? Because right now, I'm sure of the political frictions that continue within our region. Are these some of the challenges that you face?
Yeah, actually, that has not been a problem for ESCC for sure, because for us, we are not a political organization. So we are here to facilitate businesses. We don't take part in any political organizations or anything. Me as a market, I stand for ESCC to connect investors to my country if I can, to facilitate business relationships. But we don't take part in any political agenda. So with that, we never got any problem with that. And I cannot say that ESCC was at all affected by those wrangles in political affairs.
Well, thank you very much, Immaculate, for making time to be there. And of course, good luck and keep representing us right out there.
Yes, the pleasure was mine, and thank you for having me.
Thank you, Immaculate. Now, it's been 3 months since road lights in Rusizi town were removed due to the reconstruction of the main road. Now, this has resulted into insecurity incidences in the area as locals are being robbed during the night, now forcing citizens to be home as early as possible to avoid falling victims for this robbery. Jen Mutuni with the details.
After a postponed reconstruction of roads in various Rusizi town suburbs, road lights were removed in the meantime to facilitate this project. It's been 3 months since the locals had been promised new road lights, but nothing is there to see. On one hand, holes which had been dug for new replacements are causing harm to people, as some tend to fall in them during the night.
Baraje amatara ayarahari amatara barakuraho barajyana.
We had road lights before they came and removed them, leaving behind holes. They had promised that they shall be replaced in time, and it's been 3 to 4 months now. Not having road lights is a big problem, because we are facing theft during the nights and others are falling in the holes. At this point, one has to hide their phone, because once exposed, it will be stolen. Majority of businesses operating along the 4 major road headed to the main city, also known as Cité, have since decided to close their businesses early to avoid getting robbed when the darkness falls.
amatara yarahari ariko baje gukora umuhanda amatara bayakuraho.
The road lights were removed for the reconstruction to be done. Since then, we've been waiting for them to replace them. We still don't know if they will do so after the reconstruction. At least lights should be restored on the road that have been completed. During the night, we get robbed, and even if one yelled for help, it's hard for anyone to identify the robber due to the darkness. The Rwanda Energy Group branch in Rusizi says they are willing to solve this issue alongside the contractors, NPD, that had been assigned to this task, as explained by the branch manager, Kiza Francis. Road lights will be established after the reconstruction is done. We shall replace them with better and modern road lights. Entrepreneurs in charge of this project have made agreements with the district officials on the timeline for completion according to the phases required. We shall make sure we provide all the assistance necessary. According to the contract of Rusizi district officials and the contractors, NPD says the road lights shall be established after the reconstruction is done and will be replaced with modern lights. It's been 2 years since the reconstruction began. The project is to be established in 2 parts. So far, 2 roads are finished, remaining other 2. Meanwhile, local residents are requesting for road lights to be established in the roads that are already finished in order to reduce the total darkness. Jane Mutoni, reporting for RTV.
And now to bring you up to speed with the COVID-19 update of the country, 1 person has today succumbed to COVID-19. Rwanda has lost 30 people to COVID-19 in total. Now, 5 new cases have been registered and 13 new recoveries were also recorded today. Kigali contributed 3 of these people to this number, Rubavu 1, Musanze 1. The number of tests that have been conducted so far is 514. And 81 plus 963 new tests that were conducted today. And of course, the new recoveries today were 13. The condolences to the family of the 41-year-old woman who passed away in Kigali today due to COVID-19, signed Ministry of Health. Now, EnviroServe company says that the number of recycled technological equipments remains low as many are yet to understand where to dispose them.
The industry called EnviroServe recycles used technological equipments which are then sent to other industries to be transformed to new equipments. It has signed a partnership contract with energy private developers that consists of industries that extract energy from the sun. This agreement intends to preserve the environment, as explained by the Chief Executive Officer, Sande Kabarebe.
Ikibazo nyamukuru ni ikibazo kijyanye n'umwimerere w'isi.
We need to conserve our mother nature and eliminate things that endanger it. As the world evolves, technological equipments are used anywhere and in our country as well. In that sense, we've managed to partner with the industry that recycles wasted machines and many other industries in order to extract them wherever they are thrown, so as to make good use of them. After learning about the recycling company, heads of EPD have decided to be following up on their clients so as to trace their unwanted technical equipments back to the company. We offer guarantee for a certain period of years to our clients. This is a good project that will help to trace back unwanted used machines that can be recycled into useful equipments. The head of EnviroServe, Olivier Mbera, says Rwandans haven't yet understood the dangerous effects of exposing wasted technical equipments anywhere on human lives. This has been proven by the reduced number of waste received by the industry. According to the annual number of wasted machines generated for recycling, over 200 to 300 tons are still missing. Studies show that only 20% of wasted machines are recycled. According to the United Nations University, indicates there's still a big issue concerning recycling. EnviroServe industry located in Rugesa district is in charge of recycling wasted technical equipments, which are afterwards sent to other industries to produce new equipments. This industry is capable of recycling 7,000 tons per year. Currently, the number of waste received has reduced to up to 3,000 tons. Having made agreements with other companies will boost the number of received wastes. Jane Mutoni, reporting for RTV.
Now, Trademark East Africa has donated personal protective equipment to the government of Rwanda. Now, the supplies include medical gowns, face coverings, sanitizers, detergents, and hand-washing tubs. Now, the PPEs are expected to be supplied to immigration and customs offices at the Rwanda points of entry, including Rusumo, Rusizi, Rubavu, and Gatuna, as one of the measures to facilitate cross-border trade while containing COVID-19. As explained by Patience Mutesi, who is the Trademark East Africa Country Director.
The
intent is to ease cross-border trade. I will give you an example of the current challenge on Malaba border, where there is over 70-kilometer long queue of trucks stranded, waiting to be cleared to cross. Regional countries are yet to come up with a harmonized mechanism on COVID-19 testing plan for truck drivers. Countries have different testing standards, which becomes a challenge to cross-border trade. Our job as Trademark is to ease trade and ensure trucks do not stay for long on the border points. Supplies are worth $200,000. Now, the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Trade and Industry, Michael Sebera, received the donation on behalf of the government of Rwanda.
Hand sanitizer.
They include hand sanitizers and hand washing stations. They are all important for the border staff on 4 border points where they will be supplied. This will help in containing the virus, as outlined by the Ministry of Health, and ensure that we prevent cross-border transmission.